So in our last video, we had downloaded some HDRI environments to light our world, and we had downloaded a couple of textures, or you may have got some more. And I've went ahead and moved them from the download folder into my document folder where I have all my Blender stuff for the class. You're welcome to save these wherever you want, but it is important that your two textures, if you'll notice, they're in a zip folder, and Blender cannot access them while they're zipped or compressed. So we're going to right click and select extract all. You should see a menu that looks like this, hit extract, and then you should see a folder that is now the extracted information. And I'll do that with any other textures that I have. And that will get us ready to actually start working in Blender. So I'll go ahead and close this window. We're in Blender. When we left off, we had finished the wheel, and you should have 4 train cars, or if you want to make more, you're more than welcome to do that. Let's switch to the shading tab since we'll be dealing with materials. And right now we're in material preview. So we're going to switch to the rendered setting. And for right now, we'll look at these in Eevee and see how that looks. And we might switch to cycles. So we're in Eevee. We don't have any lights and our world is kind of gray. So we need to bring in our HDR texture. Excuse me. So we're going to go to world. We're going to look for color, click the yellow circle. We'll go to texture, then environment texture. The world will go pink. Remember, that's Blender's way of saying there should be a picture, but it doesn't know where it's at. And then we'll open and we'll go to our folder, wherever you may have put that. And I'm just going to click on my picture. And now I have my overcast sky. Now, to make this a little easier to look at and work with, I am going to add a mesh plane and scale it up by, let's say, 30. And then I'll just move it down so the wheel is sitting on it. Something like this. Now, I said we would look at it in Eevee, but we have a problem. Eevee cannot correctly get all the information from this picture. You'll notice that our train is not casting a shadow onto the plane beneath it. So we're going to go to our render tab in the properties panel and switch to cycles. And now you'll see that our train cars are casting shadow. Now, if your computer has a GPU, a video card, a good video card like NVIDIA, and the ones in the lab do, we're going to switch this to GPU compute for device, and that will be a little bit faster. Okay, so let's go ahead and we'll just pick any of the parts. We'll say the train engine itself, and we're going to click new to give it the material nodes. And we're going to use the shortcut Control-Shift-T to add our wood textures. Now, if you try this and it doesn't work, a couple things. By default, these 2 nodes are selected when you open or make a new node or make a new shading setup. We have to have only the principled VSDF selected. So make sure this is the only thing selected, that it has a white outline. Then you'll press Control-Shift-T. If this menu doesn't pop up, that means that the add-on, the Node Wrangler, probably isn't turned on. So I'll review how to turn that on in just a second. So we're going to go to our folder, find our wood texture, and we're just going to select all of them and click Principled Texture Setup. And that will give us the wood texture for our train. Now, if everything looks okay, you can leave all of these alone. Typically, having a displacement in a normal is a little bit of an overkill. And actually, I'm going to see what it looks like in Eevee. So switch to Eevee for just a second. And I don't see anything too crazy happening. So for now, we'll just leave both of those on there. And let's switch back to cycles. Okay. So you will notice that some things look kind of stretched out, and we'll come back to that in a second. Now, if you didn't have the option to add this, to double check that the add-on is turned on, we'll go to Edit, Preferences, Add-ons, and search for Node Wrangler and make sure that is checked. And then you can select this and repeat the steps to attach these. Okay. So we want to, for the moment, make all of these a wood texture like the one in the front. It doesn't really matter if we add it to the plane or not. I'm just going to hide the plane so it doesn't accidentally get it. And then I'm just going to select everything else. You can hit A to make sure everything is selected. And then I'm going to shift select my part that has the wood texture last. So whatever part has the wood texture should have a different color outline. And then we can hit Control L to link materials. And then everything else should get that wood texture. Now, some of the distortion that you're seeing is because none of these have been UV unwrapped to correctly fix how that looks. So you can do this since they're all mesh and they're all selected, and do them all at the same time by hitting Tab, A to select everything, U to unwrap, and we're just going to use Smart UV Project. Click Unwrap. And then if we go back to edit mode, go back to object mode, everything should be fixed. Now you will have a few things that might look a little strange, but not enough that we're going to worry too much about it. Now, if you look down here at the shader editor, and you look here on the left at the mapping node, you can see that it's using the UV to decide where to place it. We can use generated, and then it will kind of do its own thing, and sometimes that works and sometimes it doesn't. So we're just going to go back to UV. And if you want to change how big or small the wood texture is, you can change the scale. So by making a larger number, it's going to make the grain much smaller, which looks a little bit more realistic. And looking around, I don't see anything that looks concerning, so I'm pretty happy with this result. So this gives us an option to have a train that is made out of wood. And I'm going to go ahead and stop there. The bell's about to ring, and I'm recording this on planning. And in the next video, we'll make a copy of this, and then we'll set it up so we have kind of a paint look to the surfaces, and that way you can also set it up so you can have different colors on different parts. But we'll stop there for today.